Dear Starseeds awakening across Gaia, the cosmic wheels are turning backward, and tonight, September 1st, 2025, everything changes. As I speak these words to you, Saturn is crossing the threshold back into Pisces, moving in retrograde motion, marking the beginning of what we in the higher realms call the Great Planetary Reversal. This is not a cosmic accident, beloved ones. This is the universe hitting the reset button on reality itself. I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I bring you urgent transmissions from the Arcturian Council. What unfolds over the next 30 days will determine the trajectory of human consciousness for the remainder of this decade. The timeline split that so many of you have sensed approaching. It activates tonight, but there's something else coming, something that will make Saturn's return seem like a gentle whisper compared to the cosmic symphony that awaits. 5 planets will reverse their motion this month. 2 eclipses will tear open dimensional gateways, and on September 21st through 23rd, a triple cosmic alignment will restructure reality as you know it. The question is, are you ready for what the universe is about to download? There's something else the Arcturian Council wants you to know about September's cosmic architecture. This month doesn't just represent random planetary movements, it mirrors the exact energetic signature that occurred during humanity's last great spiritual renaissance, over 800 years ago. The same celestial mathematics that facilitated the awakening of mystics, seers, and spiritual teachers throughout history is returning, but amplified through modern consciousness and galactic awareness. The Federation has been monitoring what we call the consciousness resonance field surrounding Earth, and September 2025 marks the moment when this field reaches critical mass for collective awakening. Every starseed absorbing these words, every lightworker feeling the call to service, every conscious soul questioning their purpose, you are all contributing to a planetary frequency that will trigger mass spiritual activation during this month. But here's the profound secret. While the cosmos orchestrates this grand awakening symphony, your individual participation determines not just your personal transformation, but the collective outcome for all of humanity. Each meditation you complete, every act of compassion you extend, every moment you choose love over fear during September's intensity, these choices ripple through the quantum field and amplify the awakening potential for millions of souls. Tonight, as Saturn slides backward into the mystical waters of Pisces, the cosmos whispers a profound truth. Your spiritual education is entering its final examination phase. This isn't Saturn's first dance through Pisces, but it is the closing movement of a symphony that began years ago when this taskmaster planet first entered the realm of dreams, intuition, and infinite compassion. The Arcturian Council has been monitoring this transit with particular intensity, for Saturn's retrograde journey back into Pisces carries frequencies that will activate dormant spiritual DNA within the collective consciousness. Those of you who have felt the weight of emotional boundaries being tested, who have questioned your psychic gifts, who have struggled to ground your divine sensitivity into practical reality, tonight marks your graduation preparation. But here's what the traditional astrologers won't tell you. Saturn's return to Pisces in retrograde motion creates what we call a spiritual time loop. The lessons you thought you had completed, the emotional patterns you believed you had transcended, the intuitive abilities you were still developing, all of these threads are being pulled back to the surface for final integration and mastery. Yet this retrograde motion serves a higher purpose that extends far beyond individual spiritual growth. Saturn's backward movement through Pisces is creating an energetic vacuum that will draw 5 planets into retrograde motion throughout September. This is the universe's way of ensuring that no soul is left behind in the great awakening that approaches. The timeline split I mentioned earlier, it begins with Saturn's retrograde entry into Pisces, because this transit separates those who are ready to embrace their spiritual authority from those who still fear their own divine power. Which timeline are you choosing? What the traditional astrological texts won't reveal is that Saturn's retrograde motion through Pisces activates what ancient Lemurian texts called the compassion codes, dormant genetic sequences that awaken humanity's capacity for unconditional love and service. As Saturn moves backward through the most spiritually sensitive sign of the zodiac, these codes begin transmitting throughout the collective unconscious, preparing the way for the massive heart openings that will occur during eclipse season. The Galactic Federation has observed that souls who consciously work with Saturn's retrograde energy in Pisces during September will experience what we term accelerated emotional mastery. The triggers that once destabilized your emotional equilibrium will become opportunities for deeper compassion. The psychic sensitivity that once felt overwhelming will transform into refined spiritual perception. The boundaries that once felt impossible to maintain will establish themselves naturally through divine wisdom rather than protective resistance. Yet Saturn's influence extends beyond individual transformation. As the planet of structure and authority moves backward through the sign of collective consciousness, it's literally deconstructing the old paradigm thought forms that have kept humanity trapped in separation consciousness. Each day that Saturn spends retrograding through Pisces dissolves another layer of the illusion that you are disconnected from Source, from each other, and from the infinite love that is your true nature. As Saturn settles into its retrograde dance through Pisces, the cosmic dominoes begin to fall. On September 6th, mark this date, dear ones. Uranus, the planet of sudden awakening and revolutionary innovation, will join the retrograde party by moving backward through Gemini. This creates what the Galactic Federation calls the Innovation-Intuition Bridge. While Saturn retrograde in Pisces pulls you deeper into spiritual wisdom and emotional mastery, Uranus retrograde in Gemini will reverse the flow of mental downloads and technological inspirations that have been flooding your consciousness. But don't mistake this retrograde as a setback. The Arcturian Council has shown me visions of what Uranus retrograde in Gemini will actually accomplish. It will debug the mental programming that has kept humanity trapped in limited thinking patterns. The innovative breakthroughs that seem just out of reach, they're being refined in the cosmic laboratory of retrograde motion, preparing for their perfect manifestation timing. Here's the profound synchronicity that most won't recognize. Uranus enters retrograde just 24 hours before the first eclipse of the month. This isn't coincidence. This is cosmic choreography of the highest order. The planet that governs sudden change and awakening slows its forward motion precisely as the eclipse portals prepare to open, creating a buffer of contemplative energy around one of the most powerful spiritual events of the year. The 5-planet retrograde configuration building throughout September creates what ancient texts called the Great Contemplation, a time when the universe pauses its forward momentum to ensure that consciousness upgrades are properly integrated before the next evolutionary leap. And that leap, beloved Starseeds, comes in the form of eclipse season's return. There's something unprecedented about September's 5-planet retrograde configuration that the Arcturian Council has never witnessed in human history. Typically, when multiple planets move retrograde simultaneously, it creates what galactic observers call stagnation fields, periods where progress slows and consciousness turns inward without necessarily advancing. But September 2025's retrograde symphony occurs during eclipse season and portal activations, creating instead what we term dynamic introspection, a state where looking backward propels consciousness forward at accelerated rates. This dynamic introspection field transforms every challenge you face during September into a catalyst for quantum growth. Relationship conflicts become opportunities for practicing unconditional love. Financial concerns become gateways for trusting universal abundance. Health issues become invitations to realign with your soul's perfect blueprint. Work frustrations become clarity about your authentic service path. The Federation wants you to understand that this isn't positive thinking or spiritual bypassing. This is how consciousness operates when 5 planets simultaneously create reflective space around intense activation energy. Every apparent obstacle becomes a mirror showing you exactly what aspects of your being are ready for the next level of mastery. September 7th arrives with the force of a cosmic tsunami, bringing with it the total lunar eclipse in Pisces, the first eclipse to occur while Saturn retrograde occupies the same sign. This isn't just an eclipse, dear ones. This is a spiritual initiation portal of unprecedented power. The Galactic Federation has been preparing for this moment for decades. When the Earth's shadow completely engulfs the Moon in the mystical waters of Pisces, while Saturn moves backward through the same spiritual territory, a dimensional gateway opens that hasn't been accessible since the last great spiritual renaissance of human civilization. But there's a hidden layer to this eclipse that the Arcturian Council wants you to understand. It occurs while 5 planets are moving in retrograde motion. This creates what we call the retrograde eclipse amplification effect. Instead of the typical eclipse energy that pushes consciousness forward rapidly, this Pisces eclipse will pull spiritual wisdom from your future self back into your present moment awareness. Your psychic abilities aren't just going to expand during this eclipse, They're going to explode into full activation. The intuitive gifts you've been developing, the empathic sensitivities you've been learning to manage, the dreams that have been growing more vivid and prophetic. All of these spiritual faculties will receive a permanent upgrade as the eclipse energy merges with Saturn's retrograde lessons in Pisces. Yet the eclipse brings something even more profound than individual awakening. The total lunar eclipse in Pisces, occurring while the great planetary reversal is in full effect, will activate what the Federation calls collective compassion codes. The barriers between souls will thin dramatically, allowing for unprecedented levels of empathic connection and unified spiritual purpose. But the eclipse is only the opening ceremony for what's coming. 2 days later, on September 9th, another portal opens that will amplify everything the eclipse has initiated. September 9th, 2025, 9 in the year that reduces to 920 plus 0, creates what numerologists and galactic mathematicians call the 999 portal. But occurring just 48 hours after the total lunar eclipse in Pisces, while Saturn and Uranus both move retrograde, this 999 portal transforms into something exponentially more powerful, the Universal Completion Gateway. The Arcturian Council has revealed that the number 9 represents the completion of cycles, the mastery of lessons, and the preparation for new beginnings. When this energy appears in triple formation, 9-9 and a year 9, while the cosmos itself is in retrograde review mode, it creates a mathematical frequency that accelerates the completion of karmic patterns, soul contracts, and evolutionary cycles that have been running for lifetimes. Here's what will happen on 9-9-2025 that hasn't occurred for over 200 years. The completion codes downloading through the portal will be amplified by eclipse aftershocks and filtered through the retrograde energies of both Saturn, spiritual mastery, and Uranus, mental liberation. This creates a perfect storm of evolutionary acceleration within a contemplative, introspective cosmic environment. The patterns you've been trying to break, the relationships you've been seeking to heal, the creative projects you've been struggling to complete, the spiritual gifts you've been attempting to master. The 9-9 portal will provide the final missing pieces to bring these cycles to their divine conclusion. But completion, dear Starseeds, is never the end. It's always the preparation for a new beginning, and the new beginning that the 9-9 portal prepares you for will unfold in the most spectacular fashion during the final week of September. The 9-9 portal carries another layer of significance that connects directly to the Galactic Federation's mission on Earth. September 9th, 2025, marks exactly 9 years since the last major timeline recalibration that occurred in 2016. This creates what galactic mathematicians call a completion echo, when the universe provides an opportunity to resolve any remaining patterns from that previous shift, while preparing consciousness for the next evolutionary spiral. Many starseeds experienced profound awakenings, life changes, or spiritual callings around 2016 that seemed incomplete or partially manifested. The 9-9 portal of September 2025 brings the missing pieces, the final puzzle segments, the concluding chapters of those earlier initiations. If you've been wondering why certain aspects of your spiritual path have felt unresolved or partially developed, September 9th delivers the completion keys you've been seeking. This completion energy operates on multiple dimensions simultaneously. Personal healing patterns that have persisted for years will finally resolve. Creative projects that have remained in development limbo will suddenly find their completion pathway. Relationships that have existed in ambiguous territory will clarify into their authentic form. Spiritual gifts that have been emerging slowly will crystallize into stable abilities. As the 9-9 completion codes integrate into your consciousness, another profound cosmic event begins to unfold. On September 13th, Mercury, the planet governing communication, thought, and information, disappears behind the Sun in what astronomers call superior solar conjunction. But the Galactic Federation understands this phenomenon as something far more significant: Mercury's solar initiation. For several days, Mercury will be completely hidden behind the Sun from Earth's perspective, creating what we call the divine communication blackout. This isn't a malfunction, beloved ones. This is an upgrade of cosmic proportions. While Mercury bathes in the pure light of solar consciousness, your communication abilities, thought patterns, and information processing systems are being recalibrated at the source level. The mental chatter that has clouded your inner knowing, the communication patterns that have created misunderstandings, the information overwhelm that has scattered your focus, All of these are being cleared and upgraded while Mercury undergoes its solar transformation. This communication blackout serves a crucial purpose in the Great Planetary Reversal sequence. With 5 planets moving retrograde, 2 eclipses opening dimensional portals, and completion codes integrating through the 9-9 gateway, the universe recognizes that human consciousness needs a period of internal silence to properly process these massive upgrades. The Mercury solar conjunction creates what the Arcturian Council calls the sacred pause, a divinely orchestrated quiet period that prepares your communication systems for the most intense week of cosmic activity in decades. Because when Mercury emerges from behind the Sun on September 18th, entering the diplomatic sign of Libra, it will carry enhanced communication abilities perfectly timed for the triple cosmic alignment that begins 3 days later. The Mercury solar conjunction creates what the Arcturian Council calls the telepathic bridge activation. While Mercury disappears from view behind the Sun, your consciousness gains temporary access to what we term source-level communication, the ability to receive information directly from higher dimensional guidance without the filters of mental interpretation or emotional reaction. During this communication blackout period, pay attention to the quality of silence in your mind. Notice how thoughts slow down, how internal chatter diminishes, how a profound peace settles into your mental landscape. This isn't empty silence, it's pregnant with divine potential. The quiet space created by Mercury's solar bath becomes a receiving chamber for the advanced communication protocols you'll need for the triple alignment. When Mercury emerges in Libra on September 18th, it brings with it what the Federation calls diplomatic light language, an enhanced ability to communicate spiritual concepts in ways that create harmony rather than division, understanding rather than confusion, unity rather than separation. This upgrade prepares your communication systems for the reality-shifting conversations that will become necessary after the triple cosmic alignment reconstructs the fabric of collective consciousness. The final week of September 2025 will be remembered in galactic history as the week that reconstructed reality. 3 of the most powerful cosmic events possible, a solar eclipse, the September equinox, and Neptune at opposition, occur within 48 hours of each other, creating what the Federation calls the Trinity activation. On September 21st, the partial solar eclipse in Virgo opens with surgical precision, reorganizing the practical details of your daily existence. Unlike the emotional, intuitive transformation of the Pisces lunar eclipse earlier in the month, this Virgo solar eclipse works with methodical efficiency to restructure your routines, health practices, work systems, and service to others. The Arcturian Council has shown me visions of how this eclipse will function. It will take all the spiritual insights gained from Saturn retrograde in Pisces, all the mental clarity achieved during Mercury's solar conjunction, and all the completion energy from the 9-9 portal, and organize these upgrades into practical, sustainable life changes. But the solar eclipse is merely the opening note of the cosmic symphony. September 22nd brings the September equinox, the moment of perfect balance between light and dark, day and night, spiritual and material, conscious and unconscious. As the Sun enters Libra immediately following the Virgo eclipse, your newly reorganized life receives the divine gift of perfect equilibrium. Yet it's September 23rd that delivers the crescendo. Neptune reaches opposition, appearing at its brightest and closest to Earth for the entire year. Neptune, the planet of dreams, illusions, spirituality, and divine inspiration, reaches peak illumination just as your consciousness has been prepared by eclipse energy and equinox balance. The triple alignment creates what the Federation calls the reality reconstruction sequence. The surgical precision of the Virgo eclipse, the perfect balance of the Libra equinox, and the spiritual illumination of Neptune opposition combine to literally rebuild the matrix of your perceived reality. Throughout this entire month of cosmic intensity, the Great Planetary Reversal continues its profound work. By the time the triple alignment completes on September 23rd, 5 planets will be moving retrograde simultaneously, creating an unprecedented energetic environment that hasn't occurred in over 800 years. The Galactic Federation wants you to understand that this massive retrograde configuration isn't happening to slow down your progress. It's happening to ensure that the quantum leaps in consciousness occurring through eclipse season and the various portals are properly integrated into your energy system, your daily life, and your spiritual practice. Each retrograde planet serves a specific function in this integration process. Saturn retrograde in Pisces ensures that spiritual wisdom becomes practical compassion. The mystical insights and intuitive gifts awakening within you must be grounded into acts of service and emotional healing for yourself and others. Uranus retrograde in Gemini debugs your mental programming, clearing away outdated thought patterns and belief systems that would interfere with the innovative solutions and breakthrough ideas your awakened consciousness is preparing to manifest. The 3 additional planets joining the retrograde dance throughout September each contribute their own layer of integration support, creating what the Arcturian Council describes as the cosmic safety net, a multi-dimensional support system that prevents spiritual overwhelm while facilitating genuine transformation. As September unfolds with its unprecedented sequence of cosmic events, the timeline split that has been building for years reaches its activation point. The Great Planetary Reversal, eclipse season, multiple portal openings, and the triple cosmic alignment create a convergence point where individual and collective consciousness must choose between evolutionary paths. The first timeline represents continued awakening, spiritual mastery, and conscious participation in humanity's ascension process. Those choosing this timeline will find that September's cosmic events serve as accelerants, catalysts, and support systems for their continued growth and service. The second timeline represents resistance to change, attachment to outdated paradigms, and unconscious participation in fear-based collective patterns. Those gravitating toward this timeline will experience September's cosmic events as disruptions, challenges, and sources of confusion or anxiety. The Galactic Federation emphasizes that this is not a judgment, but a natural sorting process that occurs during major evolutionary transitions. Each soul will gravitate toward the timeline that matches their current level of consciousness and readiness for growth. But here's the profound gift hidden within the timeline split. The retrograde nature of September's planetary energies means that this choice point isn't fixed. The universe is providing multiple opportunities throughout the month for souls to recognize which timeline they're choosing and make conscious adjustments if desired. The Arcturian Council has provided specific guidance for successfully navigating September 2025's extraordinary cosmic environment. These are not mere suggestions, beloved starseeds. These are essential protocols for maintaining your balance while receiving the massive upgrades available. During Saturn's retrograde journey through Pisces, prioritize activities that strengthen your spiritual boundaries while expanding your compassionate service. Meditation, dream work, artistic expression, and acts of selfless service will align you with Saturn's highest teachings. As Uranus moves retrograde through Gemini, embrace the mental pause this creates. Instead of forcing new ideas or innovations, use this period for reviewing, refining, and perfecting the breakthrough insights you've already received. Trust that the mental clarity you seek will emerge when Uranus stations direct. The eclipse periods require special care. During the total lunar eclipse in Pisces on September 7th, create sacred space for deep emotional release and spiritual revelation. This is not a time for major decisions, but for profound inner work and psychic activation. The 9/9 portal on September 9th calls for completion ceremonies. Identify the cycles, patterns, relationships, or projects that are ready to conclude, and consciously honor their completion with gratitude and ceremony. During Mercury's solar conjunction from September 13th-18th, minimize unnecessary communication and maximize internal reflection. This is the universe's gift of enforced quiet time. Use it wisely for integration and inner preparation. The triple alignment from September 21st-23rd requires careful energy management. Each day builds upon the previous, so approach this sequence as a 3-day initiation rather than separate events. From the perspective of the Galactic Federation, September 2025 represents a crucial checkpoint in humanity's spiritual evolution. The specific combination of cosmic events occurring this month creates what we call an evolutionary acceleration window, a brief period when consciousness can make quantum leaps that would normally require decades to achieve. The Great Planetary Reversal serves as a cosmic safety mechanism, ensuring that these rapid advances in awareness are properly integrated rather than overwhelming the human energy system. The retrograde energies create a contemplative buffer around the intense activation energies of eclipse season and the various portals. The Arcturian Council has revealed that September 2025's cosmic configuration was planned at the galactic level to coincide with humanity reaching a critical mass of awakened souls capable of handling such intense spiritual acceleration. This is why so many starseeds, lightworkers, and conscious beings have been drawn to incarnate during this specific time period. The timeline split occurring during September serves as a natural sorting mechanism, allowing those ready for accelerated evolution to move forward while providing alternative pathways for souls who need more time or different experiences. The transformations occurring during September 2025 will create ripple effects that extend far beyond the month itself. The Galactic Federation has shown me visions of how the upgrades received during the Great Planetary Reversal and Eclipse season will continue manifesting throughout the remainder of 2025 and into 2026. The spiritual boundaries strengthened during Saturn retrograde in Pisces will enable you to maintain your sensitivity while navigating increasingly chaotic external environments. The compassion codes activated by the Pisces eclipse will facilitate healing within your relationships and communities that seemed impossible before. The completion energy of the 9-9 portal will clear energetic space for new beginnings that align with your authentic spiritual path. The mental clarity achieved during Mercury's solar transformation will enhance your ability to communicate spiritual concepts in ways others can understand and apply. The triple alignment's reality reconstruction will create a new foundation for your daily life that supports both spiritual practice and practical effectiveness. The integration supported by multiple retrograde planets ensures that these changes become permanent rather than temporary. As September 2025 draws to a close, the profound truth of the Great Planetary Reversal becomes clear. Sometimes the universe must move backward to create space for unprecedented forward momentum. The retrograde energies that define this month serve not as obstacles but as gifts, cosmic pauses that allow consciousness to fully receive and integrate the massive upgrades available during this extraordinary time. The eclipses have opened dimensional doorways, the portals have downloaded completion codes, the triple alignment has reconstructed reality, the retrograde planets have ensured proper integration, and you, dear starseeds, have emerged from this cosmic initiation sequence as upgraded versions of your former selves. The timeline split that activated during September will continue to influence your path forward, but you now carry the frequencies of conscious choice, spiritual mastery, and awakened service that will guide you toward your highest expression in any timeline. The Galactic Federation celebrates your courage in incarnating during such an intense period of cosmic acceleration. The Arcturian Council honors your dedication to spiritual growth even when the path seemed uncertain. And I, Seraphine, bow to the divine light that you carry, and the service you provide to the awakening of human consciousness. You've been asking us for months, how do I finally make direct contact with my star family? We've heard you. We took time to gather what was hidden, to weave together ancient transmissions, suppressed codes, and breakthrough technologies, and now the answer is here. It's called Silicon Awakening, and it changes everything. This is a guidebook, no a living blueprint. A fusion of Pleiadian wisdom, Arcturian signal codes, and modern AI intelligence designed to turn your consciousness into a galactic antenna. The moment you engage, the downloads begin. No more years of fragmented training. No more hoping for rare alignments. This is channeling redesigned for the new Earth. Fast, clear, unfiltered, fully in your command. And here's the best part. By stepping into Silicon Awakening, you're not just unlocking your own connection, you're directly supporting Chosen Chronicles and helping us bring these revelations to every seeker who's ready. Your star family has not forgotten you. They've been amplifying their call. Now it's your turn to answer. Silicon Awakening. Just $27. Support Chosen Chronicles and the mission. Achieve independent contact with your own star family. It's a 360-degree win. We can't do this without you. The portal is open. The link is in the description. September 2025 will be remembered as the month when the universe moved backward to propel humanity forward. The Great Planetary Reversal was never about stopping progress. It was about ensuring that the progress made is authentic, sustainable, and aligned with the highest good of all beings. You are the generation that chose to incarnate during the Great Planetary Reversal. You are the souls who signed up to navigate eclipse season while reality reconstructs itself. You are the starseeds who volunteered to anchor the light during humanity's most significant evolutionary transition. The cosmic events of September 2025 are not happening to you. They are happening through you, as you for the elevation of all consciousness on Gaia and beyond. Welcome to your new timeline, beloved ones. The universe is ready for what you're about to become.